Have you felt like things in your life don't go your way? I'm sure everyone has, and I'm sure everyone has had a bad day some point in your life. I have always lived by the words, let go and let God. I even wear a necklace to remind myself every day of how important it is to hand God your life. Yes, we have a God that holds our tiny little world in his hand, and he has a plan for you. Yes, you. I want to share a quote with everyone, and it's Jeremiah 29:11. And it says that, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." One of the first points that I want to talk about today is trust God and let him guide your life. Why should I trust God? God is all-knowing. He knows everything we have gone through in the past, are going through right now, and what we're going to go through in the future. God has a plan in your life for the good, not the bad. God will always have a plan for you in your life, and God will always be on your side. And we as his servants have to trust him with our lives and follow the path he has for us. It might be difficult every day to see that God is working when you're going through a hard time in your life. But there's a song called Waymaker, and one of the quotes is, "Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working." God will always keep his promises. Even if you don't see it, he will always heal our hearts with the plan he has for us. I know we always seem to try and make our own plans for ourselves, but God's plans are always bigger and better. One of the second points I want to talk about is the story of Moses and how he let God guide him. One of the things is Moses had to trust God and listen to him when God chose to help the Israelites free. God chose Moses to lead the Israelites to freedom whenever Pharaoh and his people enslaved them and did not want to set them free. It took a lot of faith for Moses to even trust God in a situation like that. After the Israelites were freed from slavery, they were on their way to the promised land, but Pharaoh changed his mind and sent his army to trap the Hebrews at the Red Sea. God performed a miracle through Moses and part of the Red Sea so that the Israelites could escape from Pharaoh. Now, I always ask myself this, but what do you think Moses went through? I'm sure it was super difficult, but do you ever imagine how Moses had to trust God with things like that seemed impossible? God performed miracles through Moses, and Moses was brave enough to even take on a task that big of magnitude. Even the Israelites had doubts at moments from God and would ask Moses things that were doubts. But Moses had to reassure them that God will always be on their side and fight for them. The third thing that I want to talk about is applying your life with God and trusting him. God's love and mercy will never fail you and will always be on your side. I know things might seem difficult right now, like maybe you can't afford something financially, or you're injured in some way, or various relationships in your life are not going well, but God can fix all of those things and we have to trust him. Another thing is that he will always have a plan for you, no matter what. You can sin and sin and sin and keep sinning, but he will always love you, just as he loves anyone else. He will never betray you, and his love is so everlasting. Letting go, and giving your life will open your eyes to how much God loves us and how unique we are to him. God made us super unique in his own eyes. He knows everything about you, all of the hairs that you have in your head. He knows everything, and he knows the great plans that he has for you. Some things are happening in our life that we just can't handle ourselves, so we have to let God take control, because by ourselves we can't do anything, but with God anything is possible. So with that, let go and let God guide your life. God will do everything, and just release a whole bunch of stress off of your shoulders. Letting God create your path is leading you to a path of all good things. He wants the best for your life, and God will never make plans for us for the bad or to harm us. It will always be for the good. God loves each and every one of you. Everyone. And no matter what, let God take control of your life and hand him the will.